What up? What up?
Whew, bro, it's Thursday morning, Friday. I don't know. What fucking day is it? I don't know, man. You got here Wednesday.
Is it the end of the week?
This is like a broken record at this point. We intend to start early, and then we do start early, just early the next day.
You know I'm going to get an earful tonight.
Are you?
Or no, not tonight, tomorrow morning.
Oh, it should be sleeping, right?
You're like, yeah, you know, can y'all start a little bit earlier?
You could just say, I got here early. You were knocked out. And I didn't want to wake you. I know how to get rid of that problem. Ask
me. Hey, you're right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Common Footman Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit them with the drink of the day.
Ooh, man, we're keeping the summer of rum going. So I wanted to take it to like an old classic, man. So we did a Mai Tai.
I'm glad you did this too, man.
Which, dude, me too, but it was stressful, bro. I've been wanting to do this Mai Tai for like the last month. Mm-hmm. And
I've been looking at it.
Yeah,
and I've been passing by it every time.
Me too, man. Because I went down. I with cocktails, especially like these classic ones, man. I'm a fucking nerd, so I go down this rabbit hole of like, what are the origins and what's the original recipe and how was it intended to be made, and you know, like you just go down this rabbit hole. And there were so many different variations of it, and I could tell you way more about a Mai Tai than anyone should be able to tell you. But so like there's versions with pineapple juice and orange juice and that, but what was consistent was like you know, you had to have some form of like orange or like citrus and almond. And
okay.
So anyway, what I decided to do was do like I guess sort of a combination of the sweet and strong, because a Mai Tai, I think people think sweet, and it's actually a really strong drink because it could have 2 to 4 different types of alcohol, or 3 rums some people use and all that. So
total alcohol is what, about, is it like 2 to 3 ounces?
2.5 ounces, okay. I think is what I did in this one. But some of them could be 3 for one, for sure. So the version of the Mai Tai I did was in a shaker, do 1.5 ounces of white rum. We did this Largo Bay. We've done this before, I think, with the Rum Runner. Is a solid rum. So it's a white rum there. So Largo Bay, 1.5 ounces. 1/2 ounce of orgeat, which is essentially almond syrup. You could do amaretto, but we decided to do the orgeat. 1/2 ounce of lime juice, freshly squeezed, and then 1/2 ounce of triple sec. Or you could do like a Grand Marnier or a what's the other one we do all the time? That's an orange liqueur.
Oh, the Cointreau.
Cointreau, yeah. You could do that. But so we decided we did triple sec, we did the orgeat, we did the Largo Bay, the 1.5 ounce. The 1/2 ounce of lime juice, shake that up, pour it in a rocks glass filled with ice, and then top off with what you call sort of like a rum float, which we did the dark rum. And this 12-year Dorleys is so good. We did this. And by the way, the Mai Tai is a drink that you can go a little higher end on the rum, because the rum is sort of like the star of the show. You do taste a lot of the rum, especially on that topper. Yeah. So it made a lot of sense to top it off with that, and you get that nice sort of separation of color and the prettiness. I found that pouring it with like a spoon, I did a bar spoon, maybe using a bigger spoon helps, because then you can get sort of like the even distribution of it and make it look that pretty, like the Mai Tais look. With
because like the whole drink is kind of white, and then at the very top it has like this dark just separation on the very top.
And if you're watching YouTube, it looks pink and red. And that's just because the cherry is sinking to the bottom.
Because we've been drinking it.
But when you first make it, maybe look at some of the photos, it looks a lot prettier. And then you garnished it with, we did lime and cherry. Some people do lime, cherry, pineapple, and mint. The original recipe did call for a mint. Like. So, funny story, I had mint for this, and I left it at the fridge at work because I bought it there. So we're not gonna talk about that. So I was originally gonna do cherry, lime, and a mint there. So the next time I do this, definitely gonna throw that in. But the original Mai Tai recipe did call for a mint.
Okay.
In there with lime for sure. At least those 2 things. And some people do the 4 garnishes. They do the pineapple lime wedge or lime wheel, pineapple maraschino cherry, and
And
the mint. Yeah.
Wow. That seems
Yeah,
a
it's
little
interesting.
excessive, man.
Yeah, but you see all these pretty like Mai Tais and stuff with
Yeah,
that.
it looks
Yeah,
cool.
people get creative. But yeah, you know, those you could do one or you could do two of whatever combination. But yeah, that was our version of it today. So the white rum orgy, triple sec, and then a dark rum lime juice. It's good. I love it, man. And I don't like Mai Tais that are super sweet. So I did like this because it's like there's a good balance in there of like it's sweet enough, but then you can still taste the rum really, really well. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah, man. But I must have looked through 100 Mai Tai recipes to figure out like and then what I did was I combined like different people.
Yeah, I tell you, man, I've been looking at this shit for probably a month, and I keep just going over it because I'm just like, nah, looks too complex.
And it's actually, this one was simple, but it can be like dude, there was a listing of one that was 12 ingredients.
Yeah, too much.
And it's like it's too much. And
it's too much.
And it's probably delicious, but it's 12 ingredients. You're just like that's too much. So with this one, I don't know, what's that? Maybe 5, 6 we did in here. Which again is still probably a little much. You know, usually the perfect cocktail, 3 ingredients is usually where you want to be, but yeah, this is great. And I love Mai Tais, and you know, we've been wanting to do the summer sort of series.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
cocktails, so.
And listen up, folks. You know, we try to bring a new drink to y'all every week. We experiment a lot. We get recipes from different places. It's hard to come up with a new drink every fucking week. So we have to get experimental and bring in the new ingredients. And sometimes they're simple, and sometimes they're not.
Yeah, and some of these things sound like complicated because maybe you just haven't bought it or tried it yet, but you'd be surprised what you could find at your local grocery store in terms of.
No, we don't get nothing crazy, man. It's just that sometimes we get like several different things. Where somebody at home will be like, "Well, fuck, I got one of those, but not."
But
3 or 4.
but not 3 or 4. But what I will say is, if you do buy this stuff like the orgy, you will use. There's a lot of cocktails that use this.
Yep.
And I gotta. I don't want to say the name of the app, and I can't even remember off the top of my head right now. But I feel like I should make them pay for it. But there are apps out there where you can sort of do like your bar cabinet, if you will, and you tell it what ingredients you have, and it'll suggest cocktails that you can make.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
It is a cool way. I used to do that a lot. Like, hey, here's what I do have. And
see, dude, I used to always only get like I only had like a few, and then we started doing the pod, and then it was like, okay, well, I will buy the drink, and I would bring the remainder home, and so my liquor cabinet has grown exponentially since then, which some things end up sitting. Because I just go like, oh, I don't know what else to use that with. I don't want to have that drink, and then things end up sitting. Like I think one time I used a Midori.
Yeah.
So I have like almost like a full bottle of Midori. I don't even know what else to use.
Yeah.
I don't use that shit,
dude. It's funny you say that because even over the last like month, I've tried to use up stuff that we already had because of that. Because my like cabinet just keeps getting fuller and fuller, and I'm like, okay, I got to start using some of this shit that I just get rid of stuff and then. And you know, there's certain things like rum where you're always gonna use rum or you know a vodka or you know like we go through like bourbon doesn't last for me, right? Because I make so many old fashioned. I go through the bourbons quickly, but then you know like amaretto, I'll have a bottle of amaretto forever because there's only so many things you can make with amaretto.
The fucking last week we did the drink with the Malibu rum.
Yeah,
right. Dude, that bottle of Malibu rum like I've had for a while, and it's big.
They're ginormous because they're
just
like $9 for 3 gallons.
so I'm really grateful for having to look for things to kind of mix it with, and then that drink we did last week was phenomenal.
So good.
Like I'm still having that shit at home.
So good, yeah. That was great. But yeah, man, I love it. And it's funny you mentioned before about, and I know we're going long on the drink thing here, but it sort of the I don't want to say that the premise or whatever, but a lot of this podcast is like sort of having a drink and you know like talking about you know the stuff that sort of inspired us this week or whatever. But I have had friends and stuff reach out to me and going like, I don't know how the fuck you guys think of different drinks. Like, you guys have to run out of ideas. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. I go, we only do, you know, if we did every week of the year, it's 52. I go, there's 52 standard drinks that people have. And then there's I'm like, we would never. And it's just like, I just feel like I would have run out of ideas. I'm like, no, there's just, I'm like, sure,
dude, we do too. I thought about that too. Like, as we go through it, and it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do this week? And then when you start Googling stuff, or as you develop or as you expand your cabinet of stuff, you start to understand like what things at least that we like.
Yeah.
right? And then you can start to go like, oh, you know what? That thing might actually go with that. And you start experimenting. Besides the things we find online, and I mean, there's like endless fucking recipes online.
Oh my God, endless recipes.
But like I know the things that we enjoy.
Yep, same.
And so there's times when I just like mix things together, and my sister will tell me sometimes, and she'll be like, "How the fuck do you come up with this stuff?" And I go like, "I don't know. I just know what I like."
You just know what you like. Yeah. And like you said, there's so many different bitters and mixers and juices and whatever that we've done over time that you and I will do this here. Where we'll start a recipe. We'll be like, that's missing something, and we'll just start throwing shit in, and we figure it out because again, we know what we like. So even me, like as I'm thinking of the drinks all the time, it's like, nah, we're not gonna like that. Or I know stuff that I'm like, I'll like that, but Sean's not gonna like that. Or or it'll be something like, oh, Sean might really like that. For me, I might need to add this, and it's funny because we've been doing this long enough that, and then sometimes you're just like, fuck it, I don't know if we're gonna like that, but let's give it a shot.
Yep.
So, but it's fun, man. Yeah, and the people was like, and sure, we repeat. The idea was never to do a different drink every week. We tried to do as many.
No, it wasn't.
But sometimes
at all.
we like. We like old fashions, so we do them all the time. Or we like, suburban smashes, and we'll go through like periods where we'll have a bunch of different variations of that.
Oh, winter's coming.
Winter's
bitches.
coming, bro. The pumpkin shit's about to come out. Y'all get ready. We're about to be basic bitch ass white girls. Like, hey, it's pumpkin season. Yes, you see me wearing Uggs and pumpkin coffee here. Mind your business.
All right, yo, hit them with the carbon footprint. What we got?
My carbon footprint this week is this company that it may or may not work. I'm almost giving them the carbon footprint for the attempt. It is a company out of Germany. I want to get the name here. Let me pull this up. But they're basically, it's a startup, and they're freezing dead bodies behind. And they're not the first person to do that. I know there's been like different cryogenic things in the past.
We've done some cryogenic shit here in the past.
But this isn't that. I guess the differentiator here is some of those places require you to sort of get yourself frozen while you're alive. Like you essentially pick a day and go, yep, I want you to cryogenically freeze me today, right? These guys in Germany are freezing you within a certain amount of time of your death. So you get to live out your life. And then, whatever happens, however you die. And I guess you sign up. So then I don't know how they sort of know, but they know you've died. And then they get you through this whole process to freeze you.
I would imagine you probably sign up for this shit, obviously pre-death.
Yes.
And then it's like upon your death, notify
someone
us within
a
certain time. Yeah.
So what they do is they're called the cryopreservation startup. It's called Tomorrow Bio. And it costs $220,000. It's just $81,000 if you want your brain preserved. And I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe the idea there is that you can load your conscience into something else or another body.
That's what I would think,
or
man.
Something.
Right. All of your like your conscious, your memories.
Yeah.
Right into something else that possibly in the future, maybe your descendants can talk to you.
Yeah, so it's $220,000 for the full body. If you're a broke bitch, $81,000. You just get your brain like a lame-o, frozen. And then, but they have over 650 customers have signed up.
Wow.
But I think.
But what's the so hold on. So they freeze you. Is it in hopes that technology is better later and then they can unfreeze
it's essentially
you?
like when we figure this out or it gets figured out, we will unfreeze you and bring you back to life.
Dude, that and we've had one of these cryogenic things on this pod before, like
very early on. Very early
years
on.
ago.
I remember the meme off the top of my head because it's when we used to do memes. The aliens in the fucking suit. Yeah, this is back when we used to do memes for the cover of our and the thumbnails and the cover of our post. Yeah, we need to bring that back.
That's fucking funny, man.
They were so good.
I lost my train of thought. I think that like. The fact that we can dream this, it's gonna happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like I have no doubt that we're gonna be able to do this because it's just like when I was a kid, right? It was like fucking Star Trek, right? Star Trek or the Jetsons cartoon, right? Like those kind of things, not like beam me up Scotty type shit, but it was like, having a phone where you can see the person on the other side, or I don't want to say flying cars, it's not flying cars, but there was things within the Jetsons and things within Star Trek, and there was things that we had on television shows that we were sort of dreaming. And it was just sort of futuristic stuff. Like, those things are coming to fruition. Yeah, this is only a matter of time, man. The whole, I think on both accounts. I think the freezing of the body and being able to bring that back to life, and I also think your consciousness, you're
downloading it to a thumb drive, basically. Right. Yeah.
What I don't know is, or what I'm unsure of is. Right, because the people, if you're religious, right, you sort of believe that we have like a soul, right, and so when you die, if you're religious, like maybe your soul goes to heaven, for instance. Does your soul stay with your body, or if it's your brain, is it just your memories? And is the memories and experiences that the brain holds in its memory, is that who you are? Is that your consciousness?
And I hadn't thought about that at all. But
you probably went a whole different way.
No, but now that you've mentioned it, also, if you are a religious person. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, because of the price tag, right? What if you're like Joel Osteen and you do this? What are you saying to sort of your followers?
Like
I immediately went to, that's interesting. Like, because like to me, I go, what soul, right? Like, I believe maybe like in a transfer of energy, right? Like whatever that means. It could be ghosts or whatever the fuck. Like, right? Like, I don't know what it means, but like something. But if you're a religious person and you do think that your soul sort of separates from your body, then you can't believe in this process.
Right.
But then if you do it, what does that say? And then does that lead you to question sort of your belief? I don't know.
Right. Like if you're like like a really rich Christian.
And that's why my mind went to like a Joel Osteen, because I go, what are you telling your followers if you go? And I just thought of him because he's rich and he's just an asshole. So it's just like.
Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. But like, dude, they had, there's a startup number, 650 people signed up, but they've actually successfully done it to 6 people and 5 pets so far. So it includes animals. So they've done it to 5 pets, which I go, the 5 pets, do they belong to the 6 people? Because if you're someone and you're just getting your pet frozen, you're not going to be around to see it. The other part,
it has to be like me and my pet.
Yeah,
and then do they kill the pet?
And the fucking the party pooper in me, that the side of my brain that immediately turns to business is, while I believe, like what you were saying before, that we will figure this out. It's inevitable, right? Whether we figure it out in 50 years or 100 or 200 years, we're going to figure it out. However, will this company be around then? Will they be solvent, right? Because
it won't matter.
It won't, but these bodies are frozen, right? And so if these bodies are frozen, this company has to continue to exist to sort of maintain that, right? They're cryogenically frozen. Yeah. Do they sell it off? Do they pass it off? What happens if they go bankrupt?
Do they go bankrupt?
Do they just throw these bodies away? And I guess if you're someone who died, it doesn't matter anyway. If you didn't, how wild would it be to just wake up 300 years from now? Like, I know we've had this conversation. Even I'm saying this because nuts. For you, it feels like you went to sleep, right?
Right.
You have no concept of the time that's passed, right? So if you get cryogenically frozen and then they wake you up on some Captain America shit 50 years from now, 100 years from now, 200 years from now, whatever it is, 1,000 years from now, and you step out like and you look at what the world looks like then. And for us, we think this looks like a flying cars and whatever, but for all we know, it could be a complete totally reset. We could be cave people. Like, I don't know.
Right.
But it is crazy to think of. You wake up 300 years from now, and I'm sure these people haven't thought about this because right now it's just like it's conceptually just, we want to be able to get to the like point A, which is just bringing you back to life. But how do you continue? Like, do you have money saved up that you can kickstart a life when you do wake up?
I don't even think
you have no family, you have no friends, you have nothing, right? Like,
fuck all of that. Like, you step out of wherever you are, you don't even know how to be.
Yeah.
You don't know what the...
Do you want to live in that world?
You don't know what the new societal rules are.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what to look at, what not to look at, where to walk, where not to walk, how to act, how not to act. Like, you don't know.
You don't know shit.
You don't know shit.
So it's weird. And like for me, I'm down with that because I want to live forever. But
yeah, no, not me.
For the normal, I'm not at that age yet where I'm like, yeah, I've had enough. But like,
yeah, 50 is the year.
Sean's like, bruh, put me out tomorrow.
No, man. Like, and listen, I'm all for, like, dude, I want to live till I'm 100 plus, man.
Yeah.
I hope I do if I'm in good health, right? I hope I live that long. I don't want to. I would love to be the fly on the wall to see. I don't think that I want to wake up 300 years from now and actually have to live in those societal things. Dude, we deal with shit now that we go, it's just getting kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know, where like things 20 years ago that we used to do, we can't do anymore because we go like, it's not, socially acceptable anymore. That shit is, the words that we can't say anymore and whatever. Like, could you imagine if society sort of kept going the way it's going? Great technological advances, right? Like phenomenal technological advances. Yeah. But the weird shit that we go like, oh man, we can't say it anymore. Like that sucks. Could you imagine
what's gonna be that word thing that we use all the time now?
It'd be something.
It won't matter for us. I'm still gonna use it.
It'll be stupid.
It'll be stupid.
It'll be like the word stupid, and he's like, oh man,
you can't say
you
that
get
anymore.
arrested for that now.
There was a good one recently that that someone brought up, and it was like, no, I'm not. I refuse to abide by that. It'll come to me, but it was fun. The homeless one cracks me up now, where you're not allowed to call people homeless.
What?
Yeah, it's like you have to. There's like unhoused, and there's a couple variations.
No, it means without a home.
I don't think someone
homeless
without a house and think
is
I don't
worried
give
about
a fuck about. Yeah. It's funny. That concept only comes from people who have the luxury of being offended. Right, it's definitely not the homeless people. it's like no, they got some real problems, bro.
I don't want to be homeless.
Yeah,
but I am.
The unhoused or the there was another fucking word for it, where just like I'm not calling you that. Like,
no, bro.
Like I can understand you don't want me to call you a bum. Sure,
agree,
vagabond or whatever. Like I can sign up for that. Like sounds kind of fucked up. I could use homeless. Yeah. Or no, bro. The one now that pops up all the time. I remember when I was like apartment shopping and stuff. Is nobody uses master bedroom, or very few people. They don't use master bedroom. Is not a thing anymore.
Oh,
it's primary.
It's the primary.
I will close your ad if it says primary. I won't even read it.
Master.
I refuse.
You gotta
master.
Call it master. That makes
bedroom.
sense, man. I never fucking thought about that.
No one
shit.
uses master bedroom anymore. Whatever, because it's supposedly offended. But I'm like, no, that's what we call it.
But it's a slavery thing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but none of us have ever thought that.
No,
ever.
No, it is the primary bedroom. But that came up right. So you go 300 years from now, bro.
Yeah.
What are the other things that you're going like? What do you mean that's a master bedroom? And it's like, what do you mean master? Like, there's no master here. This is a fucking primary bedroom. Yeah. You can't say that. That's offensive. Yeah, no. Yeah,
why is it offensive? I'd be like, You'd be like, why is it offensive? And then today I'm going, I don't know. Like, and I'm sure there's a group of people that it does offend, but in general, for the people that I talk to and spend time with, that's not the thing that they're hung up on. Exactly. Like, it's not the thing. Like,
exactly.
I can list 100 other things that they're like, no, we'd like to resolve. This fucking slew of other issues before we address what we call bedrooms in our houses.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, man. It'd be funny. So if you wake up in that world and now you can't say master or no, you can't say primary then. But fucking primary's gone and master's gone.
Yeah, like what is it?
Whatever it is then, and then, you're not allowed to share water fountains anymore with people of the same sex, and then it's like people who look like you no longer have the same genitalia. Like,
dude, I was gonna say, what if you walk outside and you can't tell the difference between a man and a woman? Oh, welcome to 2024.
Yeah. It's gonna be fucking crazy, bro. It's gonna be awesome. Bro, you imagine? I'm trying to think of.
I don't want to.
Imagine like a soldier from like World War II that got like cryogenically frozen, and then we bring him back to life today.
No.
and what he would think, and that's not a long time.
That's not a long
It's
time.
not a long time. Like it's someone who can still be
I mean, you're
alive
talking about
today.
what, like, yeah. I mean, it's less than 100 years.
Yeah, someone who
about 80
someone
years?
could have served in World War II and still be alive, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
they'd be old
yes.
as fuck, but they could be alive. I mean, you could have been a child and watch it through the news and be alive.
Yep.
And life has changed so drastically, and we don't even have to go back that far. But
I think that you get to a point in your life where you go, like, I'm good.
that's why I love talking to old people. I love talking to people who are like 70, 80 plus, right? Like who have lived through like real shit. Like, you know, whether it was segregation or you know, like moon landing type stuff, or, you know, like before it's something as trivial as like cell phones, like, or internet, or like, you know, something that we probably take for granted because we've had it, you know, for the majority of our lives. But, you know, there's over half of the population didn't have it, you know. So it's like,
Yep.
I'm always fascinated talking to people like that, and then just like, man, what was it like when this happened and this thing happened, and like, you know, and then the stories that they have of things I hadn't even considered or thought of or knew was even a possibility, or, you know, like it's just, it always fascinates me to see that perspective, and then that and why that perspective is there. And it's so
And as
cool.
far as internet's concerned, bro, like I live half my life without it,
Yeah.
and then the other half is with it. But it's interesting to see. Like,
Do you remember a time before it though?
Yeah.
Like,
I remember
okay,
a lot
so,
of times before.
Yeah, so like if the internet went out tomorrow, you'd be like, okay, I'm good.
I mean, like, yeah.
You'd be
well,
fine.
sorry, no, because I rely on that for my work. So no, but if you go, well, I can't do that anymore. Well, then what can I do? Right. So I have to figure out what else. What else
you make
do I
the
do?
shift. Yeah.
But living life without internet access, living life without cell phones, living life without, you know, where you have like a house telephone, you know, and the cable box that you gotta fucking get up to go change the channel. You know what I'm saying? Like it's inconvenient.
Dude, my
but
first
it was
TV
fine.
in my bedroom as a kid growing up, it was black and white. And granted, I'm not that old. It was black and white because it was just what we had.
Right.
Yeah.
There was color TVs.
There were color TV.
Yeah,
It's just
of course.
what I had. You know, with the two knobs and the UHF and the VHF, and, you know, the bunny ears for the antenna, and, you know, like the co-hanger and that whole thing. But anyway, you know, you had to put the TV on channel 3 to get the Nintendo to show up.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
you know,
that's right.
Remember scrambled porn? Like, if you didn't watch scrambled porn, you're too young. Don't talk to me. But I find myself sort of going back to these moments in time more and more now. Just like as my kids get older and we have conversations and they ask questions, and it's cool. It's so fun, like, because it almost forces you to relive or think about certain moments that I sort of just erased from my mind, I guess. Not even erased.
It's just not even
but
a
like,
big deal.
I just don't think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And their fascination, like, wait, you did what? And, you know, like the question, it's always cool because then you go sort of down this like memory lane of like, yeah, and we used to like do this thing and this thing. And the shit that to them is like so foreign is wild. And I go, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it wasn't
Dude,
that long ago.
My kids go, so were there dinosaurs when you when you were alive during the dinosaurs? And it's just like, man. So yeah, 300 years from now, bro, count me out.
Yeah, dude, anytime I say anything to my kids that's like thing, they'll be like, oh, is that because you're old? And I'm like, well, first off, fuck you.
Don't tell your mom I said that.
Yeah. Nah, you can say, she gonna say fuck you too. Calling us old. Oh man.
All right, but we have some other fucking medical shit here, man. Tell me about this doctor and this colonoscopy.
Oh, did you hear, dude, this is a local story. Did you hear about
Local. Hold on, man. I just made the point. Listen,
Yeah.
to the crew.
I'm not even gonna tell you if it's your doctor because it's
to
gonna
the
be fun.
listeners out there. Your boy is going to get his first physical in quite some time, other than like the blood work that we do for our job.
Okay.
I'm going to get a physical, which will lead to colonoscopy. Y'all will hear all about it.
Let's go.
When
Can you do it on a pod day? we're like coming to you live from
I need to be able to sit down.
the Bro, it's gonna be a pod full of mad edits because you're just running off to the bedroom, to the bathroom. You got to do it like the night before. You got to do the clean out. That shit would be so great. I can't wait. So I'm not even gonna tell you if you pick this guy, but you probably not. This it's a doctor in Tampa. He was performing colonoscopy recently, and his name is Ishwari Prasad. Just in case. And he was performing a colonoscopy on a patient. He forgot to put his hearing aids in. The doctor, evidently he needs hearing aids to be able to hear. And the patient wasn't fully sedated and was screaming the entire time for him to stop. I guess was in a lot of pain and wanted the procedure to stop, wanted to be sedated. Yeah. But because he hadn't put the things in, he couldn't hear him. So he just kept going along with it. And then his assistants, I guess, had to eventually like step in and stop him, and I guess it's something that's like known that he has to wear these because he can't hear at all, and the person's now suing them, and then a second person is suing him for like something sort of related, but same kind of thing, like malpractice of like they put him through sort of a pain and suffering that they didn't need to go through because they didn't do certain steps, and I think this one had to do with
same guy.
So
I'm not going to this guy.
Make sure he's got hearing aids. And if he's old as fuck, ask him. Start asking questions from both sides of his ear. Just be like, ask him questions, see if he responds. Ask him questions from the right side, see if he responds. Be like, all right.
Dude, not for nothing, man. So the guy that I found, remember last week we were talking about the Bloomberg donating to the
John
medical
Hopkins?
John Hopkins, but plus the HBCUs.
Yes, okay.
That was the kind of the bigger story, right? The HBCUs, because there's like not a lot of black doctors, basically.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the importance of finding somebody from your tribe.
Yeah.
Like for anything. But especially,
you pick a black doctor, bro.
No. So here's what I picked.
Okay.
I picked better. So my mom's side of the family is from Puerto Rico. And my father's side of the family is from Antigua.
Okay.
This guy is from Antigua.
Oh, so he is black.
Well, he's black, but he's kind of light skinned.
He's Caribbean black. I mean, I guess there are like kind of black.
He's a little high yellow.
You find this out when you hang out with blacks more. They'll be like, I'm not that kind of black. I'm like, I don't know what that means. They're like, I'm Caribbean black, not plantation black. And I'm like, I can't say that. But I know what you mean.
So yeah, man, I found somebody from one of the motherlands, and I'm gonna go to him. I'll let you know full review on him.
You're my hero, bro.
So we're gonna.
You know how big this motherfucker's hands are gonna be?
Well, I'm gonna be sizing them up as soon as I go in. And I'm not going for a colonoscopy initially.
Sizing them.
It is a checkup.
Yeah, it's just a checkup. Wait, but they're gonna do the prostate though. That's the worst one. The colonoscopy is a tool, at least. Oh, they're gonna do the prostate. That's where you got to worry about the hand size.
Not, man. Let's see. I don't know. I'm going for a physical.
Yeah, but you're physical and you're 50. They got to do the prostate exam.
We're gonna find out.
And then they'll schedule the colonoscopy, but they got to do the prostate.
Listen, if his hands are big, I'm gonna be like,
yeah, you gotta back out.
I'm gonna be like, no, I'll go. How about hers?
Yeah, the nurse,
the assistant.
Can she just use her pinky? Yo, you're better than
why her hands so big? Oh, that's my daughter.
You're better than a typical Latino, because every guy in my family, like most of my uncles, are like, fuck no, I'll take my chances with cancer. I go, yo, how homophobic are you that you won't take a finger in the ass to not die? I go, I'm not, like, you would do it. I'm like, I'm not comfortable doing it, but I don't want to die.
No, man. My father didn't die from prostate cancer, but he did get it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have to.
So you have to. Yeah.
It's only responsible, man. I gotta go. Turn around, take it from the back.
I go. I think it's gayer that you won't do it. Like, why? I'm like, because that means you're afraid you're gonna like it. I was like, I don't have that fear.
No, bro. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be really fucking uncomfortable, bro.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about.
But Sean, what if?
I'll be calling the back like, Doc, I think you missed a spot. You sure the polyps ain't over there?
I feel swelling on the left side. Oh, Oh, we're definitely. I can't wait to. But I shouldn't laugh too hard because fucking I'm not that far behind. I think I'm a few years away from having to get that. There's like a whole thing now where
it should be in your 40s.
Our generation is getting. My generation is getting. There's like a super elevated rate of like colon and prostate cancer and stuff. So I think they're gonna lower the age of the screenings and stuff.
Okay.
So I may not be that far behind you, man.
No, you should do it in your 40s.
Yeah.
I skipped my entire 40s, and so I just.
So you've never done it at all.
Never done it, bro. Never done it. So shame on me.
We drink enough alcohol.
I feel like it's killing. I feel like I'm killing that stuff.
Man. Your liver, you got to worry about. The prostate.
I got a pain the other day in my side, bro.
Did you wonder?
No, I didn't. But my wife did.
No, I didn't.
She's like, well, you have been drinking more lately.
Bro, one of my favorite moments ever, and I got to figure out a way to like turn this into a soundbite on my phone so I can just like text it to people when they say shit or just whatever, is you going, bro, I'm never going to stop. When we were talking about drinking. I'm like, I got to figure out a way to turn that into a soundbite. And we need to get a soundboard here. And I'm like, that's going to go right next to all money. The next one's going to be, I'm never going to stop.
What was that about?
You were talking about drinking.
I know.
We were talking. I think you were talking about people quitting or like how people had laid off drinking and all that. And you were saying how you had a drink, and you're like, I'm never gonna stop drinking. Yo, it was the level of pride in the statement for me. I was like, that shit was so funny. I was like going back and editing it, and I couldn't stop laughing at it for like days afterwards. In my head, I would just randomly think of, I'm never gonna say. Like, yo, it was the passion behind it. That was so fucking funny, bro. Oh man,
yo, keeping with the medical shit, man. What's this? Somebody lost a skull.
Oh my god, bro! This guy is in Georgia. They're doing a surgery and they lose a part of his skull. So I'm not gonna find. It's at a hospital in Atlanta. So there was he lost nearly a 28 square inch piece of his skull during a routine procedure, right? So routine procedure. Dude, think about 28 square inches. That's big, bro.
Big, yeah.
It's not a little snippet.
No,
that's
it's like 28 inch by inch squares.
Yes. So it's a fucking. That's like a quarter of your skull, bro. It feels like. I mean,
it's like your whole head.
It's a big ass piece. So they lose it during a routine surgery. That's not even the bad part of why I want to talk about this. The reason I want to talk about this was because they charged him money to fix it.
Oh no!
To close them back up and do like an artificial skull thing. So it's like the hospital that fucks it up goes, oh, don't worry, we'll get that resolved for you. But then they bill you, and it was $17,000 for the part to essentially put them back together for their fuck up. $17,000, bro. I go, yeah, you fingered me in the ass. The fuck. 17.
I told you don't put them big ass sausages in my ass.
Dude, how fucking is there any other industry where you could be negligent and then charge for your negligence?
No.
Is there any other industry in America where you could be negligent and charge for your negligence?
Was it here, bro? Was it in America?
Yes, bro. It was in Atlanta. Bro. Not only Atlanta. Not only in America. It was in a metropolitan. It's not like some podunk town.
Yep.
You know, it's in Atlanta.
Dude, I wonder if it's one of those things where they have to, like it's all getting paid by insurance, and so they just bill the insurance.
Maybe, but
it's still bullshit.
It's still bullshit. Yeah.
It's still bullshit. Don't get me wrong.
And it also speaks to like obviously like the rising insurance costs and yeah. It's fucking crazy.
And I know for a fact, like I have family that works in the medical field, and the way the hospital has to bill for almost like astronomical shit, because they know they only going to get paid a percentage of that from the insurance companies, right? So they kind of bill a lot, so then they get a decent amount back.
Yeah.
So then they can pay their doctors and their staff.
And the decent amount back, it's crazy how like sort of the margin.
Yeah,
That,
yeah,
that they're willing
decent.
to
Like,
lose.
let's put quotes around the
Dude,
fucking
I've had
decent,
hospitals where, I'm like, yeah, bill me later. And then, I don't know, I'm going to just throw out a number as an example because I don't remember off the top of my head. But let's say the bill was $1,000. And they'll call me and be like, hey, yeah, like whatever, you owe this $1,000. If you just pay $50 today, we can close out the account. And I'm like, $50 versus $1,000 that yeah, sure, I'll pay the $50 today. But then it also tells me, like, you have a lot of room there.
A lot of wiggle room.
Yeah,
there.
you're not losing
Or
money.
sometimes they'll just do it just to kind of like to recoup something.
Yeah, because it's going to cost some money in collections and yada yada. So
Yep.
they'd rather get something other than nothing. But to me, that also goes like it also tells me you've built in sort of this massive margin on this that you can afford to.
But they have
and most
to-
hospitals are non-profit, quote unquote, right? So like
Bullshit.
Yeah. No, we know it's
Yeah.
bullshit, but they are supposed to be non-profits.
That all money.
No, bro, this is that Jesus money. Fucking all these hospitals are supposed to be religious institutions.
Yeah, we got one around here.
Our fucking biggest, I think
biggest
the two
one,
biggest
big
ones around
one, yeah.
here are Mormon owned or Advent.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Dude, let me tell you about. We're gonna switch gears here, man. Have you heard about Madison Bergman?
No.
All right, Madison Bergman.
Sounds like a high end
She was
shoe store.
high end hooker.
That too.
No, actually, 5th grade teacher
Okay.
who has been charged with first degree sexual assault on a child. So
Ooh. Okay.
she allegedly kissed an 11-year-old boy multiple times. The way they sort of found out, like the student's mother overheard her son talking to the teacher on the phone, and allegedly told the child like how much she enjoyed him touching her and making out.
She's telling the child that she enjoyed this.
Correct, over the phone.
Okay.
Right, so they're
And he's a 5th grader,
5th grader, 11 years old,
which
5th
would make him
grader.
okay. Yep. Okay.
Right. So she's going. She's been charged. Whatever. That has to go to trial. The woman was engaged, and I'm gonna leave the guy's name out of it because I
Okay.
don't
So
even want to put him in.
she's
it.
engaged to a guy.
She's engaged to a guy that's her age. I think she's in her 20s. I assume so, just based on the picture. I didn't look up how old she was, but she wasn't like a 40-year-old woman.
Okay.
She's probably maybe 30 tops.
Okay. So she's a younger.
Younger, yeah.
Okay, maybe that's why she's so progressive.
So I'm looking at this story, man, and I go, okay, don't feel sorry for her because right. So you go, that's a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
In our eyes, right? In the eyes of our society, that's a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't really feel sorry for the kid because the kid probably wanted it too. Like, I remember being like 11, 12 and fantasizing about older women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
So like I go.
I'm not
like,
saying I
no.
didn't. I'm just.
Yeah. So I'm just going like, nope, I don't feel sorry for him. Bro,
I don't
has
know if that
anybody
was-
checked on the fiance?
Oh my God, bro!
This
Did this guy
motherfucker's
blow
on
brains out?
suicide watch.
Bro, he has to be. Has to be. Yo, can you imagine? Yo, you like as guys, you go, whatever. Like you get cheated on, fucking sucks. You get cheated on. Like your 30-year-old fiance cheats on you with a 5th grader. You know what that's got to do to your self-esteem? You know how trash your dick has to be, first of all, for you to get cheated on.
Or how good the 11-year-old dick
Oh my
is gonna be.
But she don't know that yet, right? So she has to be willing to step out.
Right.
So it has to be so shitty that she's like, well, can't get any worse than this guy. Yeah, fuck.
The guy
check on
you're
that guy,
engaged
man.
to, check
Are
on that guy, bro.
Dude, what's his? Is you don't have to tell me his name, but does he have a social media? Can we check on him? Is he alive? Do we know?
I had to give you his name for that.
Like,
but, yeah.
We need to look this up later, man, because
Dude,
we should really be checking on this
Yeah.
guy.
Like, what kind of scar does that leave for you as a man? Like you said earlier, right? Like, if you go, if your girl cheats on you, your wife, whatever, cheats on you with another man,
Yeah, it's
like,
sucks.
it sucks. But,
Yeah.
right, you just go like,
Or if she
like,
leaves you for a woman, you could be like, that's kind of embarrassing. I was so shitty that you turned to the opposite sex.
Or
you always
wanted
right?
that.
Yeah,
Right.
you could justify. I think the ego will let you go, oh, of course she didn't want me because she didn't even like dudes.
Right, she didn't like guys.
Yeah, but I was the last hurrah. I'm so great that she goes, if I don't like this guy, I must not like guys. Like, I could talk myself into that.
But bro, fifth grader?
A fifth grader? I gotta see what this kid looks like. If I'm him, I'm like, nah, bro, we talking. I gotta see this guy.
He's like 6'2".
Can you imagine him finding out and then not knowing it's like a student yet? Like, right? Like, he finds like text messages between her and you know, that like raunchy shit.
And
he's
didn't
like, no, I gotta see this guy. And then he wants to go confront this guy. And it's fucking little Timmy in the playground. He's like, bro, let me finish this fucking Pokemon card game real
They
quick.
quoted this guy as saying, it was fucked up that she cheated with a little kid.
That's her fiance?
Yeah.
Stop. That she cheated with
But bro,
with a little kid.
dude, what kind of
No, bro, if you're him, you gotta go in the hiding
mental
forever.
anguish
Oh my
is
God.
this guy going through? You know what? Like
my
people
God,
will go
bro.
like, okay, like the woman, they'll go like, okay, pedophile, put her in jail, whatever, right?
Yeah.
They'll go, the kid is scarred for life. No, I mean he's probably
The kid's
not.
gonna be just fine.
Probably not. The
Yeah, he might
fiance,
be hypersexual when he's just fine.
the fiance, fucked.
That dude's fucked, bro.
That guy's fucked.
Fuck. First off,
That
how
guy
do you
needs
ever
therapy,
trust
bro.
anything again? And also, you got, bro. And also, his boys. Through the end of time, can you imagine what that group chat's like, bro? Oh my God, bro. Yo, don't talk to Pedro. His girl's out there fucking children. Bro, yo, they're just roasting the fuck out of this guy. Also, I know I ain't
She'd
shit.
be like, too soon?
So yeah, if I know you and I know you got cheated on, and she cheated on you with a fifth grader, it's coming up at some point in time, bro. I'm not mature enough.
You're like, you're not still mad about that, right?
Like, is it too soon to be allowed to talk about this? Because your girl was fucking a kid.
This guy can't make fun of anybody for the rest of his life.
Ever, bro, ever. I'd be like, let me see it. I'm like, you want a device, pointers, something, anything like what's happening? Bro,
He'd be like, "Oh, now I get it."
I'd be like, or it's fine, and you go, maybe we got to see the kids. Bro, and if you're this kid, what kind of game do you have? You pull. Now, I want to say, I remember my fifth grade teacher, bro. Her name was Miss Winnie. She was a massive Yankee fan. She was this blonde lady, and she was super cool, super sweet, and I appreciate you not fucking me, but also fuck you, because that means you didn't find me attractive enough. And that's why your name was Miss Winnie.
I thought I was grown.
Nah, I knew in fifth grade I was fucking. If you was, bro, I think about me in fifth grade, and if a teacher was fucking around with me and she was cheating on her 30-something-year-old man, I'd be like, you should have low self-esteem, bro. I know what I'm working with and how much I weigh. I ain't shit, bro. I'm like, you should definitely kill yourself. Oh, fuck.
So man, shout out to I don't even want to say the guy's name, man. Somebody check on this guy,
check on him,
please.
man. Don't. I'm just kidding. Don't kill yourself.
Somebody check on this
She
guy.
clearly has a mental illness, and they just these fifth graders ain't built like they used to be. You imagine your friends, you're trying to make them feel better. Man. The food around the hormones and stuff these days. And these kids are just bigger. Maybe she didn't know. She didn't know that was his cubby. She thought he was cleaning it.
I passed by the high school the other day, man. Chicks look like women.
Nah, you can't say that because that would sound creepy as fuck.
Like, you don't even live by the high school. What are you talking about?
Like, are you sure it was one of her students? Maybe she didn't know it was one of her students. Maybe he looked grown. Maybe he looks old for his age.
Maybe he got that disease that make him look old.
Yo, the Benjamin Button shit. But like in reverse, whatever that is. Because his was the opposite problem, right? He would get old.
He got younger?
He would get younger as he got older. Yeah. I think that was Benjamin Button.
Oh, no. I don't know that.
He would get younger as he got older. So I don't know. I'm too drunk right now to think about what. Fuck you, Brad Pitt. The Benjamin Punch. Bro, we got to dedicate the pod to this guy. You're so right. I'm thinking about any guy ever. Like all these, you hear these stories of these teachers all the time that cheat with or not even cheat, but just sleep with their students. But then you end up finding out that they have a husband or a boyfriend or whatever. Like, fuck, dude. Like those guys. Like, yeah, let's start a page or something for those guys or raise money to get those guys to die. Like nobody, these are guys are the forgotten heroes.
That's it, man.
Thing, bro. Now I'm mad. We got to start a foundation for these dudes, bro.
We need to GoFundMe.
We need to GoFundMe for these guys, man. You know that there's
this is a good example of no one gives a fuck about us, bro.
About men?
Yes. No one gives a fuck about men. I try to tell my kids all the time, man. I'm just like, listen, no one. I'm like, listen, as you guys get older, man, no one, listen, if you're not a fucking a kid or a woman or a pet, I mean, nobody gives a fuck about you, man.
It is interesting, man. I have, my son is 10 and I've been having, and he's starting to get a little older and he's got, like shitty habits like any other 10-year-old has and all that. And there's certain things that you sort of let him get away with. And there's certain things where like, I recognize that like maybe I'm hard on him and I start having conversations like what you were saying where I'm like, hey, you're a boy now, but one day you're going to be a man that is going to be accountable for people. And, and as a man, your expectation is X for most of us, right? Like there's an exception to the rule, whatever, like for losers. But there's like, for most men, the expectation is right, like provide, protect, whatever, right? Yep. And then there's a different set of expectations for the women or whatever, like in the quote unquote traditional sense, right? But like anything he does now, I try to be like, hey, like this is. One day you're going to be a man that the expectation is X, and not like you shouldn't do that now, but like I want you to be aware of this, and I want you to sort of like grow into this like at some point in time. But you're right, man. Like it's so funny. You're like you even like we joke all the time about like therapists are like, yo, somebody check on this guy or yada yada yada. But in reality, bro, if you told your girl, right, like, hey man, I feel sad because of yada 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 yada, women really love men and they'll put up with a lot of shit from us, right? And they'll support you through that. Yeah. But they lose a little bit of respect for you.
Yeah, like listen.
You only have so many times you can do that.
Don't be sad too often or too long.
It's absolutely true. And most of them will tell you that's not true. No, that bullshit. Shit will accumulate over time.
Absolutely.
And they'll go like,
you're kind of a bitch.
You're kind of a bitch. Yes. So it's like, as much as you want to be like I'll tell my son all the time, like, hey man, do you feel like crying? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, fucking let it out. But the other part of me goes like, don't ever do that shit in front of your girlfriend.
All right, you're done crying. Man the fuck up.
Yeah, man the fuck up. But yo, maybe that's his fifth grader. Never cried. This lady was like, dude. You know what, man? This kid, maybe her husband cries all the time. Every time his feelings are hurt, he's fucking cries. And she went home. She's like, you know who never cries? Timmy in my fifth grade class. That dude's hard.
Fun of him all the time. That motherfucker's hard.
And that motherfucker's hard. They made fun of anything. Timmy looked like shit all the time. They made fun of him, and he took that shit like a man. And you.
Man, somebody check on this guy, please.
For real, man. Damn, can we get him on the pod?
That would be fucking fantastic.
Oh, bro, like, what is that? Like, what does that feel? Yeah, but we gotta get him a pod, and I gotta not be an asshole, cause like, I gotta try to be like empathetic.
You gotta let some time pass. Let it kind of calm down. His real friends already made fun of him.
Okay,
and then we could bring him on.
All right, fine. It's kind of like you had fucking the girl that went viral recently. You had a story with her.
Oh, the Haktua chick.
Of like, yeah.
Yeah, so the Haktua chick, if you guys have not seen this, Haley Welch.
Yeah.
She got to throw out the first pitch for a Mets game. And the reason why I'm laughing is
Mets
because
is so
the
on brand.
Fucking Mets is so on brand. So the Mets now have Grimace that threw out a pitch for them. 50 Cent, who I respect the hell out of.
Yeah, but he threw the pitch to first base. He basically tried to throw something out at first, and it was supposed to go home. Yeah, the fucking possibly the worst first pitch in the history of fucking baseball.
Well, it's right there with Baba Booey, the dude from Howard Stern, the producer from Howard Stern. Another famous guy. Listen, does a great job at his job. but can't throw a fucking baseball, and then now the hawk to a girl.
Dude, but 50, I would say, is worse because 50 looks athletic, right? Like he's Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
I think because he's black, we assume he can throw a ball. It's like if you can rap, you can throw a ball. I think that's fucking.
What do you mean? You can't
That's
play
a
baseball,
reasonable
basketball,
expectation. Yeah.
football? What do you mean?
Yeah, and so 50, it was very evident when he threw that. I was like, oh, there isn't an athletic bone in your body. I think that's what we were shocked about. Like the Baba Booey, I go, if you had to take a bet before that, like, is this gonna go horribly wrong? Like, yeah, possibly. Like more than likely, for sure.
Dude, I never understood why those pitches. Like, is it that hard?
I mean,
I know you used to pitch.
I was gonna say,
kind of,
like, I would be like, no, but also I've seen enough to know, like, yes, the distance. I think for one, the distance is very long. So you see people who go halfway.
So then skip it.
Yeah,
that I get.
Skip it or just go halfway.
But the shit where it goes left or goes right, I don't understand.
No, that part I can't explain because I go, hey, if you fall short, and you see that all the time with three, and I tell people all the time, like, just like, well, I don't know why people don't just go halfway to throw it or whatever. Because even like Simone Biles did hers where she did the flip and she did the throw,
yes,
and she made it, and it wasn't like a line drive pitch, but it was like it got there, and she did it almost by the full distance. Dude, that's like a 60 feet 6 inch whatever. That's fucking far, bro. Like, I know we're used to seeing major leaguers throw that shit at 100 miles an hour on a line drive shit. Yep. I promise you, most guys who will step on a mound, the ball will start falling before it gets to home plate.
Yeah,
because they don't have enough strength to get it there. Like, it's far, so it is hard. However, I can't forgive you for throwing it in the opposite direction of where even the distance is. Where you like, there's a very big area you're supposed to throw it in. Like, it's insane. Also, listen, kudos to this girl for milking her 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, no, kudos to her.
But has there ever been someone, like, for an ugly chick who made the most innocent comment about a blowjob, the fact that she's blown up this much is baffling to me. I'm like, you're not good looking, so I don't understand why people are fascinated by the blowjob thing. But she's not good looking. She's not.
Either. Yeah, she's not.
Like, if she walked past you in the mall, you're not looking. It'd be nice,
right? Yeah, that's true.
And then she talked about the most basic concept. If you give a blowjob, it's like, yeah, it's like, to me, it just speaks more to how starved people are for blowjobs. It was like, oh, finally someone hears us.
They checked on us.
It's fucking wild, and it's the men. They finally checked on us. They're like, she gets us. It's insane to me. Like,
and she's not that. It just goes to show you, she's not really that hot.
She's not at all, bro.
The fact that she's willing to do that
at all to me, like, yeah, the fact that she's willing to do that, we're like, oh,
you're like,
someone cares.
She just got elevated.
So that I go, I get it. This must be what it's like to be ugly, but and you can't blame her for this. It has shocked me how she's been on podcasts, like really prominent, like popular podcasts, and like good for her. Like, I can't be mad at her because hopefully she's set herself up for the rest of her life if she's smart about this. Like, based on all the endorsement deals and the appearance fees and yada yada. Like, these 15 minutes of fame, this next year of her life, of her milking this. I think I saw something that even just through merch sales, she could set herself up. Nice. Really well, which good for her.
Yeah,
like, you can't be mad at her. I'm speaking more to the fact of, like, the fact that she became popular and even became a thing says more about us. That like, I don't get it. Like, I know we talked about it. I'm like, was it the innocence? Was it the accent thing that she said? I'm like, because normally you would go, it's a hot girl talking about blowjobs. Like, I get it. That's what it is. It's like the innocent laugh. I'm like, she's not hot at all. And then it's like, it's got to be the innocence and the laugh. And then, like, what you were saying is, like, as guys, we're like, oh, someone cares. We're finally being heard. But also, I'd be like, if you're giving a blowjob, it's like, yeah, bro, that's like saying to drive a car, you got to start it. That's basics.
We need a little fluffer. So she was actually there for there was like a charity. It was America's Vet Dogs, and so which typically they paired dogs with war veterans.
Did she kill the dog through her first pitch?
You know what? I didn't even see the pitch, bro.
That would be amazing. Oh, you did?
Nope, didn't even see it. I didn't care.
The fact that the Mets picked her to throw the first pitch, this is the same team that fucking has an apple go up and down or whatever when they hit a home run. I'm like, yeah, makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of on brand.
It's on brand. Yeah.
Whoever's their fucking PR person or marketing person, like they should be fired.
They need to do a better job, for sure, of changing that perception of them being like a minor league team. Basically, is like the perception of them. It's like they're New York, but they're not even like second best. It's like they're like third or fourth tier. Like we forget they're major leagues.
They're actually good this year.
No, they are. Listen, it's not even that they're not, like, they've been okay, but I think it just as New York, and maybe this is just me because I'm a Yankee fan and I'm an asshole, but like you just never really think of them as like a major league baseball team.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, that's the cute. It's like the Savannah Bananas, like the thing that's not. You just like, oh, that's a cute team down the street. It's like
no. When you think about New York baseball, you think about the Yankees. You just do.
Absolutely. Yeah, in the same way that you think of the Giants if you think about football, right? I know the Jets are there, but you think of Giants first.
Yep.
And then you go like, oh, yeah, they do have the Jets and Buffalo. And I know Buffalo's been a better
Buffalo's in
team
New York?
lately. But we all have to remind ourselves that Buffalo's in New York. Yeah. But
how we doing on time,
good for her, man. We're exactly an hour in, man.
Perfect, man. Let's finish it off with something, man. What you want to do?
I'm trying to think. Do we want to? Ooh. Because I'm trying to think of what's not going to take long. Oh, we got to talk about this lawyer. Did I tell you about the lawyer?
Do it.
All right. There's this, I want to get her name real quick. There's someone who became a lawyer recently. Her name is Anna Victoria.
Okay.
And she graduated from law school. She is now a practicing attorney, which is an accomplishment in and of itself.
This all seems normal.
The reason it's a big deal for her is because she has Down syndrome. So
yeah.
Oh, bro, and I'm gonna show you the picture of her. I mean, not Downsy, but not super Downsy.
It went black. It went black on me. Let me again.
Downsy, but not super Downsy. Maybe we should put this up in the video, but definitely Downsy.
Okay.
I'm sure sweet girl, but as you can imagine, the comments, it wasn't a story. I see a story and I immediately go to the comments.
Yeah.
People are fucking menaces. And it was like, she's down for the cause. It was like shit like that. Somebody said guilty. You got 6 billion years in prison. But all jokes aside, like, okay, if you were maybe another person with some am I allowed to say special needs? I don't even know anymore, but special needs and she was representing you, maybe you feel good because you feel understood. And but if you're if you're one of us, right, and we have some dispute, and I don't know what type of attorney.
Yeah, like I'm not.
I should look that
just on GP. I'm not hiring.
And she pulled up.
Like no.
And she's like happy as fuck because they're always excited.
They'd be like, no, you're fired.
Yeah, she's happy as fuck. Maybe she's bench pressing you while she's having a discussion about your case. And she's like, bro.
You know what, man? You and I talked about this before. Remember that show, the one with the autistic kids?
Yeah. The Love on the Spectrum or whatever.
That.
Yeah.
And you see some of them get paired up with people that have Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is a community of people that would probably be okay with that.
Yeah.
There's just a larger community that wouldn't.
But also, if you're guilty, you're definitely not hiring them because they're probably not capable of lying, right?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
she want the real truth.
She want the real truth. Which, again, if you go into law, like the truth, quote unquote, is sort of irrelevant. It's like what you can prove, right? So, but I don't know if they have that like filter. Like maybe this is my ignorance, but she's gonna be like, he was there. He did pull out the gun. Why are we here again? Oh yeah. But I mean, kudos, bro. Also, the fact that you can get through law school with
that's impressive.
It's fucking impressive. It definitely is. Like jokes aside,
that's impressive.
Like yeah.
And she had to pass the bar.
But you had to pass the bar. Yeah, you had to get your Juris Doctorate. Like that shit is impressive. You have to be smart.
Now, are there, and this is I'm ignorant to this, right? Because I have people with Down syndrome in my extended family.
Yeah,
and they're fucking riot, man. I love them.
I love
them. Hanging out with
I've
them.
spent time with people.
They're fun because but like to your point, super honest. Will talk shit to your face, tell you the fucking truth,
So
whether
funny.
whether it hurts or it doesn't. Like it doesn't matter. Like they're very honest that way, and it's funny. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, if there's a wedding, a party, whatever, and there's someone with Down syndrome and like clearly autistic and all stuff, guess where I'm sitting, bro? Right now, this shit is always gonna be amazing because I'd be like, nudge him like, yo, what you think of her dress? And then there it goes. It's like fucking the best, bro. And then, like some of the funniest moments that I can remember have always been around like someone who has Down syndrome, because again, it's like the honesty, the sort of freedom.
Dude,
it is refreshing when you go, I wish I could do that. And then sometimes I do. And then people say I'm an asshole.
Yeah, right. Like it's funny, man. Right? Like if we do it, we're assholes. But when they do it, it's like that's their excuse, essentially.
My son is like quote unquote like on the spectrum, but you've met my son.
He's fun.
Yeah, and so I used to do this bit where I'm like, he's just enough on the spectrum to have an excuse to be an asshole, and how I'm like so jealous of that fact that I'm like, I want to get diagnosed just so that I can be an asshole and be like, hey, it's not me. It's the disorder.
So where did you practice out of?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't think the story had that. No, it doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't say.
Oh no, I need to find out. What if it's not even in America? I feel like I'm trying to read her cap and gown thing, and it feels like her name is Anna Victoria. She's probably in Spain or some shit.
Well, shit, man. Shout out
It's
to
got to be
Anna,
Spain or DR.
shout out to Anna Victoria.
I guess if it's in like the Dominican Republic, nobody would notice. But if it's in like let me look it up.
Spoken like a true Puerto Rican.
You know, it's Puerto Ricans. We be racist as fuck against.
Yeah,
against Dominicans.
and them too.
Let me see. Dude, I gotta find out what she said. And them, yeah, dude, Puerto Ricans just be we just think we're better than every other Latino because we're legal. Oh man, and she graduated in July. Yeah, I feel like it's not in the United States. So
it doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, shout out to her, man. You know, passing her test. Oh, from Mexico. So yeah, shout out to her, man. Listen,
they need more lawyers.
Bro, can you imagine trying to take down the cartel?
No, she's gonna defend the cartel.
Amazing. Oh, defend them? Oh my God, we're about to catch all of them, or not? They're all about to get off. She's about to be super smart.
Yo, on that, tell them where they can find us.
At the Carbon Footprint Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at Carbon Footprint Podcast on TikTok, at Carbon FP Pod on X, and then all your favorite audio platforms, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. I think you can do it on both. The reviews do help the rankings and then help us know whether or not you care for us. And then anywhere else where you get your audio from, Geosav in Ghana. And I think we always say if we're not on something that you listen to all the time, maybe change apps or just shoot us a note.
We on everything, damn
it. Yeah. Just tell your smart device to play it. Tell your phone. And you just speak into your phone, whatever it is, and tell them to play our podcast, and it'll find us for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as always, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.